All right, people, it's pre-season mode, so obviously the boot choices are essential. Let me start off with Superfly 1, but it's not SG weather. Superfly 4, yeah, bangs, but there's something better than that still. Superfly 360, mad thing, come on, it's gotta be them. What on, are you mad? Superfly 7 Elite, limited edition. Nah, this pre-season is gonna be absolutely mad. Come on, come through, yeah. You're back on the KitLab, it's your boy AK, and guess what? It's Triple T, Tech Talk time. This time, we are looking at the brand new Mercurial Superfly 7 Elite Limited Edition. Now, there's so much to say on this boot, so we're gonna start with the origins, where it's got to today, and why this is now the best Mercurial Superfly of all time. So it's been no surprise that the Mercurial is Nike's best performing boot since the start of it back in 1998. Now, we're gonna fast forward the clock from 98 to 2008/9. And in terms of technological breakthroughs, the Mercurial Superfly 1 was invented. And the key feature was the flywire cables that were situated on the midfoot of the boot, creating that lockdown fit for all the speed players. Now, moving forward, we go to 2014. The birth of the Superfly 4 just before the World Cup. And the key feature here and USP was the dynamic fit collar that made it a seamless transition between foot and lower limb to create a secure, snug fit whilst feeling like you're wearing socks and not a boot in itself. Fast forward again, 2018, the birth of the Mercurial Superfly 360 or Superfly 6. Now, the key thing here was that you had a fly knit construction that was 360 degrees all the way around the boot, as well as the chevron pods. So with a boot being so successful, right, only 5 players in the Mercurial line opted to have modifications to their boot. And most players, when asked, said their boot was either a 10 or a 9. There was the lowest score of 8. So, notifying that, Nike were like, hang on a second, someone's rated our boot an 8 out of 10. That can't happen. We've got to make sure that everyone is saying minimum 9, if not 10. So how do we go forward and make this a game-changing boot? Therefore, out with the old and in with the new. Okay, so let's start off with the upper. Now, we all know, of course, it's made out of fly knit, but what you might not know is that compared to the previous generation, in terms of the Superfly 6, there are now 2 yarns involved in the process. So you've got your standard yarn, which pretty much creates the skeleton of the boot, and it goes all the way around, of course, still 360 in terms of its construction. However, you've then got high tenacity yarn, okay? So as it sounds, this yarn is there to help create that lockdown, create that support, and also provide a bit more of a firmer skeleton to the overall knit in itself. The key thing here though is that they've merged 2 technologies into one, so there's no more flywire cables. The high tenacity yarn does the job of the flywire, and what you get now is 2 yarns merged into one, as you can see here, to create almost like this checkered grid pattern on the boot. What it does mean is that the suppleness of the fly knit in comparison to the previous generation is absolutely wonderful. Like, no lie, baby soft. It's crazy. Like, it actually is crazy. You could just play with it all day, and you can see it has so much mobility in the boot that in terms of your fit, your feel, and also just your custom overall touch on the ball, unbelievable. Unbelievable. With that all being said, you're thinking, hang on, AK, where does the protection come into place? Well, it still has that Nike skin coating across the upper in particular. Not so much so on the laces, but definitely across the toe box, heading to the midfoot and towards the heel counter as well. But the Nike skin coating is a lot thinner in comparison to the Mercurial Superfly 6. So actually what you do get is, again, that suppleness created in the upper. And what it also allows is for Nike to add on the all conditions control coating across the boot. So, like in previous boots, whether it's raining, shining, snowing, or whatnot, your touch isn't compromised. All right, let's flip the boot around. Boom. Talking about the plate in particular. Now, we saw the revolution of the chevron pods in the previous Superfly, and there's not much difference in terms of that. You still got pods on the forefoot and the rear heel point of the boot. Now, the key features are two things. One, the introduction of aero tract, which is this spike here. Now this was inspired in fact by track cyclists and their shoes as they clip onto the pedals. And the idea behind it is that you get an extra spring and offload as you drive your foot into the ground. So you imagine accelerating, of course, you want those first few steps to be as explosive as possible, and of course when you're changing direction as well. And what happens is here, as you get that pushback, there's an extra spring in your step, according to Nike. Now the back chevron pod has a cutout just in the center of it. Now this is simply just to reduce a bit of weight, of course trying to make the boot as light as possible, but overall, the chrome finish, in addition to it, absolutely sublime. Time to talk about the collar. Now, the previous Superfly 6 had an adapted collar, which was kind of similar to Cristiano Ronaldo's modified collars from previous generations. However, Nike have changed it again, saying that this is now a more anatomically fitting collar than before. So the cut just here actually sits a little bit lower than the ankle, which means that you get more of a steeper gradient, which hugs the foot better. And also, there's more elastine in this collar. So again, you get much more of a tighter, grippier feel just around the Achilles, around the talus bone at the front, and of course, just underneath the ankle as well. In terms of the graphics, now listen, the graphics, yeah? I have to admit, I saw this boot about 6 months ago, and at first I was like, big old swoosh, big lettering. Nah, I prefer Mercurial, that's more sleek, just the swoosh and nothing more. However, in hand, this large swoosh that doesn't actually finish emulates so much speed, and in fact the limited edition version has a double swoosh. So there is a black bold swoosh outline, and you've got an orange one that sits just to the right of it as well. Also, the fact that they've gone and put Merc, the nickname of the boot, I think is absolutely genius, because let's be honest, every person who wears Mercurials doesn't say, yeah, I've got my Mercurials with me, they're like, I've got my Mercs. Short, simple, sweet, to the point. My overall rating on the boot, boy, do you know what? It feels the best on foot ever. Like, I'm a massive fan of these. These will always have a place in my heart as the originals, but from a performance point of view, the uppers texture is just mind-boggling. When we do a play test, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, absolutely loving it. In terms of rating and looks, I'm gonna go for a strong 9. Soleplate, I'm going for a solid 9 as well, but upper I'm going 10. I can't see how they're gonna make an improvement on this. This is gonna be absolutely mad. Obviously you're gonna see Kylian Mbappe, Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo and others wearing this, but let me know what your thoughts are. Do you like the new design on the brand new Mercurial Superfly 7? Slap that in the comments below. Subscribe and like if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? I'm AK, this is the KitLab, we're signing out. Peace.